Thank you for coming on into the live and sharing your essence with me in this eternal moment of which we all share an inextricable and inexorable part. Thank you for doing your part, for coming on each and every day, and we'll do the same without wasting a single second of your time. Bada bing, bada boom, we go. BTC with that little rejection off the point of control, coming back down like we said. What do you mean like we said? Well, let's go check out what we said not too long ago. We were saying that this was likely a trap. The little push that was happening on the live was a trap, and we would reject off this 618 and come down to this deviation, extending all the way down to this liquidity pool for a liquidity grab at that 41,666 level, we said. And we needed to get back above this 236 to be bullish, and what do you know, it's doing exactly that. So are we heading back up to the upside? If you hold the 236, we are. And so let's go into the liquidity and find out what's up with that. So what is the liquidity? Well, people lock that liquidity into the charts to get burnt to a crisp by the market maker for not using a stop loss, and we get to see where those people are. So let's do it now. In the last hour, you had a 240k short by BTC getting wrecked, and now a late shorter, if you will. Over leverage for that matter. It didn't even go up that much, and how do you lose 240k in this little bounce up in an hour? It's crazy. People have some gambling issues. And if you go in the last 24 hours, you had 29 million in BTC, 15 million shorts, 13 million longs liquidated. People on both sides. If we look to the altcoins in the last hour starting to go a little bit up, in the last day a little bit red as BTC retraces down. All right, this is False Move Monday, January 29th, as we approach the end of the month. Let's go look at the liquidity here. We came down, we grabbed that liquidity we were talking about. There was a spike here at 41,666. They grabbed all that, and now they're looking to come back up into this region, perhaps to the 42.7 region. Let's go ahead and look at the higher time frame liquidity pools. All right, so we're going to go to the weekly. Weekly has some up at that level, but looking at this 3-month, basically up at 43k, you got 749 million. Interesting. So that there was like $1 billion up at, okay, that's on the 6 months, so we have to go to the 6 month to see that. $1.73 billion at 44k to take on the higher time frame here. So do we come up to that level? We'd have to hold this 236. The math did not change from yesterday, so we're going to go ahead and delete our projection here. It played out. Congratulations. We were talking about the low zone liquidity. This was the conservative play, but it was double bottoming off of that liquidity. This pool got wrecked.
Fatality.
And so I'll delete that, delete this. Well, actually, we can just swing it on over to here because that's where we went. So 623. So we were off by like $40. Pretty good. All right. So got that rejection off of that 61866 region and came down to this deviation level here. Let's go ahead and throw on our momentum. Let's not waste a single second of your time here. Link in the description for more. MomentumMaster.info. Scroll down to features, toggle at your leisure at Bitcoin's bottom before we knew it was a bottom in November 2022, or no, 2023. Wow, the years just go by. So 2022, yeah, 2022, November, and 15K, and you got the trend cloud, the baselines, stochastic array, and more dynamic alerts to your phone. So let's go ahead and turn this stuff on. How's everyone doing out there in YouTube land? I must have completely missed that talk about the 41.6 liquidity. I had the 2 fib level. Yeah, we marked that off with the liquidity. We were going over that in the beginning and seeing the spike. It was there, but it got, deleted obviously. So looking at this spike here, you could come up to that 42.764 region. So we'll just go ahead and mark that off first, 42.764, and see if that lines up with anything. 42.764 here. Puts you up at the top of the range. We already hit this fib level in the deviation, so we can delete that. And we can kind of take a look here. So there was this keystone level, came down for another 4 candles and started to reverse. Liquidity grabbed it. All right, let's go ahead and start our descent through the time frames. 2 days left on the 3-day. 3-day baseline cross down event still in effect. Even if we come up to here, could be a stop hunt to come lower. Getting some manipulation triangles here, some stop hunt triangles, but it is the 3-day. Okay, so the 3-day came down to the cloud and kissed the cloud and bounced off the cloud. Also the adaptive moving average, which we flipped into support back here in November. Reset the stochastic and the Williams, so we could be getting to a flip here. The money flow coming beneath the RSI here. So we could get a little bit of a money flow play on the 3-day to the upside. 2 days time for this to close. Heading to the daily. First and foremost, let me look at how that weekly closed. Let's go to here and go to the weekly. So the weekly did close in that objectively bullish manner we were talking about. So it closed above that 382 level. Body closed above it. So you could be seeing some upside, at least for the interim. Coming back into some levels here. Okay, just to note, you have the cross down event of the weekly time frame to watch out for. So that doesn't mean it's all straight downside from here. You could come up to here, reclaim some of this liquidity, and then come reject on down lower. But the cross down is in effect on the weekly time frame. The weekly time frame, stochastic coming lower here with the Williams opening up and starting to push down. The last time we had the Williams in this high position pushing down did give us a few weeks of downside, but ultimately we were bullish. The last time we reset fully was 18% here in September. Do we get that push down with the high Williams here? And that suppressive play, the cross down event that was here from May, did play out slightly, and then they had a stop hunt and went back lower. Okay, going back to the daily time frame. Daily. So the daily time frame has this cross up event that we were talking about here, getting the cross up on the baselines. What do I mean by baselines? Well, you can read about it here. They're your first sign of reversal. and they are leading average, so it starts to occur before the move even knows it wants to. So does this mean the daily time frame wants to come up to that cloud? We were talking about this curving cloud before it started curving, and now we're talking about this potentially curving up. Has yet to do that, but the daily cloud, you're getting the lower time frame kisses to the cloud, so possibly the daily cloud will be the thing to kiss next. Up at that 43.6 level, we held the adaptive moving average. You can read about that as well. Adaptive moving average, kind of like your VWAP, but we came down to it, closed candles above it, turned it into support, and boomed to the upside. Now, if we're going to the 22-hour time frame, 22-hour getting above this cloud on the 22, closing candles above that 236, looking to potentially push up to that region at 42.763. The liquidity is up in there to grab. Open interest is dropping. No new longs are opening. Some shorts are opening. So if the open interest is getting reset here, people are closing out their positions, it's possible that we get a push up with that low open interest. Okay. This cloud on the 22 insinuating upside. We still have yet to flip the bullish to bullish super trend on the 22. The 12-hour doing very much the same, with the cloud having that resistance up here in the cloud. Do we flip it and come back above that adaptive or not? We put in a keystone in the sequential order to come up to this range. Still have yet to flip over this range level to turn it into support. Again, pointing back to the 236 on the 12-hour. 12-hour stochastic is gassed, and you're starting to come down here in a Mano money flow and RSI even Steven levels. Williams momentum pushing this possibly for a double top situation. You are getting into overbought, but the average of the Williams could come up to it some more, giving you some more upside push. All right, coming to the 12. From the 12 down to the 6. The 6-hour time frame has this curving cloud that's insinuating it wants to continue in that curvature to the upside. Getting the MACD coming down a little bit, has yet to cross. If it doesn't cross or it just bounces off of this, you could continue up into the domain to the top here. The Williams getting gassed a little bit. We'll watch to see if this gives an alarm cross or not. Either way, the 6-hour time frame is a bit high on the stochastic. Does it continue or get a double top scenario from here? We were pinned pretty high. It's all about the 236 and how it reacts off of that. Got that rejection off of this 0.65 and this weighted moving average here on the 6. Coming to the 4. 4-hour time frame. Yesterday we were talking about this cross down event of the 4-hour, which is why we were looking for that trap to be sprung to the downside, and it did. So this cross down event, still have a little bit to reclaim this, so even if you come up to here, it could be a double top to come lower, so watch out for that. The 706 trap door is the thing to watch out for. This 43k basically is, there was liquidity up in this region in that 43k mark. 1.95 billion at 43k. So if that's enough to release and then they don't need to go any higher, then that trapdoor will be received and denied entry to go above and drop lower. So looking to see that 706 level of the 42,952 region, the 43K hit, and that 1.95 billion reclaimed. Coming to the oscillator here on the 4-hour. Money flow coming back down to even Steven levels, was previously above the RSI. We always talk about that disparity of the money flow getting above and that fatigue coming down to the RSI, which it did yet again as usual. And this Williams starting to potentially give the idea of a cascade, but the angle is not pointing down as much, so you could be coming up from this point. All right, so going to the hourly, this is where you get into the nitty-gritty of the juxtaposed time frames. Okay, so the hourly is reset. We had the hourly cross down event in conjunction with the 4-hour, which is why we were not wavering in this idea when it came up here in that B wave into a C drop to the downside. Here though, you're now starting to make your way above the baselines here on the hourly time frame. So you could reclaim this, and you had a keystone level on this time frame reached, so you could be getting this bounce on the hourly. Money flow is below the RSI, which is suggestive of the money flowing up to the RSI here. Williams in an oversold state, everything at oversold levels, looking to go higher on the hourly. So this hourly play could be playing to the upside here, to that region we're talking about here. Okay, coming to the 15-minute time frame has some bullish divergence on the money flow and the RSI, and getting this push up on the Williams, creating the double top, triple top scenario. The MACD looking to come up into the domain of the stochastic. This is a leading MACD formula put in the framework of this oscillator, 200-point range. So it makes it ultra sensitive. So here you are getting your head banged against this adaptive on the 15. Do you flip it and start to come above this super trend and go higher? Got some resistance to work out here on that cloud as well. So we're at these 12-hour and 22 and the 12-hour cloud resistance, and the 15 putting up a little bit of a struggle here to get above this 236 and hold it. Okay. This is false move Monday, so be aware of how that operates. What you'd need to see is very much the same with this. You have to get above the cloud and do the same thing. You come back above it, kiss it, and then go. So this is what you'd want to see for that. And then by this point, it would start to thin and get you to the promised land from there. All right, so let's go into the total market cap and see what's going on with that. Looks very similar. Looking to possibly go higher. So this bearish 236 needs to be negated at 1.619 trillion to then come up to this 1.7 trillion gap up here. So this was the bearish trend-based fib level. We came down to a region. All right, going to total 3. Let's go see what that IPO was like from yesterday. I think it was IPO, or was it IDO? What was it, IDO? What was the thing I was looking at yesterday? I don't even remember. Hold on. Let's go back and check it out. Do you remember that? Somebody asked me to look at something yesterday. What was that? Let's go check it out. Where was that? Where was that? once again. Where was it? This one, right? JTO. There you go, JTO. No idea, but let's go see what happened with it. So we came down to the 618 like we were talking about. All right, so are we going to react off this 618 and get back up above this 236? We can adjust this now down to here, and the 236 will have changed now just below the point of control. So we need to see this $2.07 updated before we could find some value here. And this is why you're patient. You patiently snipe it, hunt it like a caribou or something, and try to find the tracks and the scent, and then you snipe it in the head and take it home for dinner. It's the way of the world. You gotta hunt your prey, hunt your trade. Okay, so that could be something that comes up. The cloud is thinning and coming nicely down here. Need to get above it though on the 6 hour. They're doing that inducement idea. All right, so yeah, you got any questions, comments, anything? Bitcoin dominance holding strong, looking to go up to here either way. Cat, you're putting my leg to sleep. Oh. All right, so pretty bullish on the Bitcoin dominance, looking to overtake the situation. You got USDT dominance. Came down here. Is this a bearish retest to go lower? What would that spell if that was the case? We can take this down to here, up to there. That's if we go up. Bitcoin dominance will go down, or sorry, USDT dominance will go down if we respect that 236 and come down to this 5.74 region after bearishly retesting this 6 hour cloud. Okay, so we'll see about that. Dixie starting to do its sideways thing, but ever so slightly up sloping. You got wicks here to recover, some liquidity over here, buy side liquidity. You got some wicks down below and some gaps. By wicking down into this and creating these double tops, they're creating the impression of short, but could go just sweep it. If that goes up, then NQ will be looking to sweep lower. We have Microsoft coming in tomorrow. Microsoft is a big NQ player. Got this cross down on the 6 for NQ. And then also on the 12. Got a cross down there. So do we try to put in a low for the week? If we put in a low earlier in the week, then that's bullish for the later half of the week. So I would like to kind of see it go up to go down, and then towards the middle of the week, then, or even Tuesday, you could go up, just do it up, go up and down today, and then tomorrow can send it. All right, let's see. All good. We'll have to start watching these at least twice thanks to some distractions over here. Oh, it's cool. No worries. I'll try to keep it shorter and sweeter. All right, so Yeah, we're back at a point of control here for the NQ, getting a little bit of a bounce. I suspect that we will get some bounce idea here if we do this. So we could come up to this point of control up here from Thursday's point of control. And this is kind of what I was seeing last week. Last Saturday we'd come up to here and then go down to here and then possibly go rip to the upside. Not married to the idea, but get everyone kind of bullish leading into all-time highs and say psych, and then no psych. Double psych. Stop everyone out and then go. Just a thought. Just a thought. All right. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I don't really have anything else to say. We did a pretty thorough analysis yesterday, and it was all on point, so we don't have to readjust our vision. We just keep on track, keep on track, keeping on, keeping on. Hey, don't do that to my comic book box, please. My cat wants to use it as a cat scratch. It's like, no, thanks. Some of those are like thousands of dollars. I could show you a cool one. Let me pull one out right here. Here's a Silver Surfer, the rebirth of Thanos. This is a one that I had, graphic novel. So bought for only $12 back in the day. Who knows what it's worth now? But I got a bunch of these 500-600 comic books. I was really into comics back in the day. All right, so I don't really have anything else to add, so I'll just leave you with that. Watch the 236 for BTC. Can we remain above this 236 level? And yeah, get up to that 43K, that 1.9 billion up there that we have yet to reclaim. Okay, so that's it. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Thank you for coming on into the live and sharing your essence with me in this eternal moment of which we all share an inextricable and inexorable part. Thank you for doing your part, for coming on in each and every day, and we'll do the same, bringing the fire, the actually